At the premise of the Autonomous Association of Academic Personnel of UNAM, more than 70 institutions of higher education represented by deans and directors gathered in the first national meeting of universities and institutions of higher education incorporated to the International Alliance of Universities for Peace, ALIUP. On March 16, 2016, educational institutions convened by the Global Embassy of Activists for Peace and the National Autonomous University of Mexico discussed the construction of a culture of peace through education, reaffirming the work being done in Mexico, where there are already approximately 20 national seminars in various universities in the country.
This is your home. The Autonomous Association of Academic Personnel is characterized by its motto. Ideological pluralism is the university essence. Welcome, and I have the best wishes that this day is fruitful for peace.
The ALIUP pro tempore secretary presented an executive report that mentioned the international seminars and the academic session held within GUMIPAS 2015. At the same time, a summary of the strategic fields of action for institutions, educators, researchers, university outreach, and university competition for peace actions project.
Estos 5 campos estratégicos que nos comprometen a cada
These 5 strategic fields commit each of us who are in the network
y quienes nos sentimos
and who feel committed to integrate the network of ALIUP,
a trabajar
to work as a team contributing our ideas,
con nuestras ideas,
our analyses,
con nuestros
and the reflections
y las reflexiones
we have within our higher education workspace.
de educación superior.
Transformations in society, globalization, and the era of knowledge in which we live demands changes in the priorities of higher education, actions of a quality integral education system based on respect for human dignity and the practice of ethical, moral, and spiritual values and principles. The speech of the executive president of GEAP was centered on this subject.
We cannot act as separate nations. As independent universities, education has an important role because it prepares more human, sensitive, and supportive leaders, not only for a region, but for the world. In the ALIUP, we will join forces and enrich the process of the integral formation of the human being.
The way to reach a culture of peace is educating for peace, which includes educating in human rights. It is about educating to learn to live together and learning to reconcile with nature and with colleagues. It is about a formal and non-formal education that achieves the internalization of this goal.
As educational institutions, we have the need, and we are the ones who must promote positive, proactive, and real changes in a society where people who believe in ideals are needed.
As educational institutions, we have the need, and we are the ones who must promote positive, proactive, and real changes in a society where people who believe in ideals are needed.
And the way we can contribute is that each of us believe it is that from our modest functions, from our modest trenches, from our small space, we do something to improve.
It is not only preventing violence, it is providing spaces of peace. Not only is it to remove violence or to only stop it and denounce it, but it is to provide spaces of peace that build a new way to relate.
Pedagogical approaches for knowledge and practice of universal principles and values in the student training process, values and democracy, peace and the Holocaust were some of the topics addressed by the speakers, who at the same time proposed the teaching of ambassadors for peace.
And the university community must motivate the right to human dignity through a research methodology using collective reflection based on the analysis of the events occurred in the Holocaust.
Les pido a todos,
I ask everyone,
internamente hagamos una reflexión
let us reflect internally if it is true that we comply 100% and that we are inspiring and transforming the young people of tomorrow.
del mañana. Necesitamos maestros,
We need educators.
necesitamos líderes,
We need leaders.
necesitamos empresarios
We need entrepreneurs with an inspiration for
de
peace.
paz.
Undoubtedly, despite the fact that the scenarios are not flattering, of course it is important to consider, as the UN has already pointed out, that it is man who in his environment propitiates many of these conditions. Then, it is up to the human being himself to find the solutions and, of course, bring positive realities for us all.
One of the attitudinal obstacles to world peace is the mistake of believing that pacifism is equivalent to passivism,
equivalente al pacifismo,
and the mistaken notion that peace is synonymous with inactivity.
sinónimo de inactividad.
And we see that it is not a physical treasure, but we have two treasures. One represents the students, and the other, the educators. They are a binomial that should not be separated in a process of professional training.
The ALIUP in the globalized world aims to promote the strengthening of justice, respect for planet Earth, love for life, and will facilitate the establishment of an education for the peace of the integral human being.